Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon and I write games for fun. Also, did you good cabra watching? Slurs posting. How are y'all doing today? I'm doing quite well. Took a walk today, walked downtown, hung out, realized, weird thing, realized, like, we had a barcade. It was a place called Barcadia, and it was a bar arcade. You know, one of those things? It went away. It's dead now. They replaced it with a fucking wine bar, and I'm like, why? Why a wine bar? Why? That's such a lame thing to put. Will I go to the wine bar? Probably. Let's see, we've got that. One of my favorite gyro places got, I think they lost their franchise. Like, it's weird because it looks the exact same inside. They just have a new logo and it just is something completely different, but it's the same shit inside. I'm like, I think you just lost your franchise, or you gave up, you know, you got rid of it or something. I'm like, I'm in, it looks good, I like the food. And they completely redid the front of a set of businesses. I'm like, hopefully someone moves in there. They were kind of a dead corner, so I'm hoping something moves in there. It was good. I had coffee at my local place. Had my big brain revelation today. Didn't have my notebook with me because I am a baboon and I didn't think I'd need it, but I had my big brain revelation. And I also had sushi. It was good. Yummy sushi. It was tempura. It was shrimp tempura sushi with, and I kid you not, spicy California. Very good. They've got specials, and they didn't have the special I usually like, which is the spicy crab. But I'll go with the tempura. But hello, yes, I am here. What's the plan today? Well, today we're working on I should say we're working on stuff. We're going to be working on some of the things we were doing yesterday. And we're going to be working on those a little bit more. Trying to get Ludus Maximus in a better place as of right now. Because Ludus Maximus is a very very particular game. That very particular game is going to be a pain in my goddamn ass. But hey, that's half the fun, right? Of course, here's our various options. Here's our various games. We also got a commission. Yes, we've got a commission document. So I need to worry about the commission now as well. Because it's gonna be a fun one. Gonna be a fun one with a capital F. So, one thing that I sat down, I thought about it, I had my big brain moment, and I decided that someone is pinging me. I do not know who. Who are you and what do you want? It's you. So, I decided that probably the best option would be this. Going with the troop style play. Why do I think that's the best option? Because it probably has the most meat behind it. Outside just being, this is a game of beating up men. This is a game of beating up naked men. So, we're going with this idea. Going with this concept. Because we need it. Now, I did decide that we are going to be using Theros. Most specifically, we are going to be into Theros, and I believe it was Wuso who proposed, and people are still pinging me. Why do you all ping me? Why do you do these things? Someone posting a video of me with ancient samurai wisdom. So, let's see. So, with Thedos, effectively, one of the ideas was that obviously we want something vaguely Romaboo. Because, I mean, it's gladiators. People, you know, if you say gladiator, it's, the kind of the concept of the gladiator is very Roman, in a way. And that has its own, like, that's a very particular thing that people associate. So we need to have that Latin or that Roman concept to it. Because without that, you lose kind of the point of gladiator, if that makes sense. And, yes, do you want to have a reenactment? You want to have some good old-fashioned, you know, gladiator reenactments? So, but it was also suggested about Mutai. For those who don't know what Mutai is probably one of the, most beat the fucking shit out of people, you know, martial arts out there. It's a very, very fucking violent martial art. And it is one that will fuck your day up. And I was thinking about it, you know, it was Wuso, I believe, said like, oh, you know, it was kind of like, you know, a gladiator thing back in the day, you know, people did it. And I'm like, okay, I need to think about this a little bit. I need to think smart. We're going to be fusing cultures because we can do that. Because it's interesting. We like doing that. Where was it? Tomoin? Effectively, Mutai. Effectively, what I was thinking about doing is either like Romaboo, Thailand, or like vaguely Southeast Asia. Like that's kind of the aesthetic, you could say. It's not going to be set directly next to the Yakula, but we're going to be mentioning the Yakula a little bit because I can do that. Really, the only thing with Thedos is everything is in cycles. Tenchi gladiator battles. Like, one of the big things when it comes to Thedos is that every single thing is in cycles. That every thing is on that reincarnation cycle. Doesn't matter what it is, it will come back. You kill the gods, new gods will take their place. The cycle repeats. You die, your soul gets put into the cycle again, you get shat out another time in another place. That's kind of the idea. Effectively, what we're going to be doing is the castle god. Effectively, the god who took over this area. Who is like, this is my domain now. Is going to be an entertainment god. He is going to say, hey, I just want to be entertained. I want the party to never, ever end. Because the party is what I live for. And people, it's literally like, we worship a god of entertaining people, but he's also like, I just like blood sports, because blood sports are interesting. You know, the thrill of war and the thrill of battle. And he's effectively going to be Bacchus. That's how I'm going to be kind of thinking of him. He's going to be, the kind of the more traditional way of thinking of Bacchus, kind of the large and proud. It's Slock is by way of Slanesh. Effectively, it doesn't matter really what it is. It's just entertainment, it's sensation, I just want things to be excessive. Because that's what I enjoy, that's what I love, and I want my people to see that. Now, immediately, let me see. Immediately, I was thinking about something in this vaguely, the Rakshasa, because Rakshasa are kind of a fascinating parallel to this. Not necessarily it's a cat man, but more of the demonic. Like, yeah, this guy is a horrible demonic creature, effectively, that people really like because he gives people what they want. It's bread in circuses 24/7. Except you are the bread being eaten and you are the circus. That's kind of the idea. That's kind of the aesthetic we're going with, that kind of Romaboo, vaguely Southeast Asia, vaguely India, kind of that very weird look. I got a few ideas of how I would want that to look. It's mostly a game about writing it. Googling Slanesh on stream, you mean Romaboo, you mean the gypsies, I mean Romans. You are taking some... Spartan, you of all people should know, I care little. I risk everything. I play a dangerous game every time I go on stream. I'll gamble. I love gambling. You got a shit post with Bushido. Yummy, 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 yummy. But yeah, Demon Nuts have way more not safe for work. It wasn't even me that necessarily. Like, I kind of got the idea of the aesthetic of like the actual cult members. Because it's the way that I want to organize a lot of the castle cities. Yakula's a little bit different than most because Onrik is a fucking idiot. Onrik's incredibly smart, but he just really hates people. And all the gods there are very active. But effectively, if this is the city, there is an actual like civilian government in the city. It just happens to be that the cult who worships this guy, you know, a fucking living god, just happens to be a very important group inside of it. Again, the best way to think about it is, this is a normal city, but we have, like, the upper echelons of the government is run by a Slanesh cult, while a fucking keeper of secrets sits on a throne and fucking, you know, drinks themselves to death. Because it's Bacchus by way of Slanesh. And that's what he views himself as. He views himself as legitimately like, I am the holliest, jolliest god of entertainment. Entertainment, excess, everything. I don't give a shit. Everyone's fucking rich under me. I just want people to kill each other. Now, what we're going to be doing here, and we did discover something a little bit interesting, though, today. Now, why do I say this is interesting? I say this is interesting because my life gets very difficult now. And you may be wondering, Notepad, what do you mean by your life gets more difficult? Let's Google the concept of troop play TRPG. Let's do it together, everybody. Let's go to Wikipedia. Ars Magica, other things. Huh. Anything else? No. Outside of some, like, OSR games? Yeah, we're flying a little bit blind. Wheel of No North was the most Slaneshi bullshit possible at the top. Kirelli, yeah. Effectively, I like this. Yeah, that's kind of the idea behind it. It's just they're very in your face. And to the point where it's like, yeah, there are a lot of people who do terrible things. Everyone knows it. But everyone part of the cult who are actually part of it, you know, in kind of the upper clergy, they wear masks. They wear masks of what they do. You might, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, you go to a party as the Ludus, doing things, you will see the MC, you will see the person hosting this party with just this elaborate mask. You don't even see their face. That's the point. You're not supposed to see their face. They're supposed to be very detached. It's like, yeah, they're not part of the government. There is a king. He does shit. He's not the guy running. You know, he's clearly not the person who is... that people know who's in charge. There is a god here. He lives in that gigantic temple house over there. We throw money, we throw parties in his armor. And it's kind of like, yeah, there's just a god who lives on the hill. And that's always been kind of the idea with Thetos, is like gods are very real and they do just show up. And kind of the idea there is that he's going to have a pantheon. Is like he has other littler castle gods that he's pretty much said, hey, you have the right to live in this city and manifest properly. In exchange, you literally, you pay up. In this Ponzi scheme, you pay up to me. And that's what he's doing. He's just like, yeah, why do we let the guy who knows... Why do we let a innovation god live here? Because he's the one creating all the elaborate everything. Like, yeah, do you want a guy, like... Does he raid the Orlundi? There could be Orlundi here. You mentioned that, but that's something we're going to have to think about, actually. But I was looking at things for troop play, and really the only thing that popped up was Ars Magica. There was very little else. But that was when I want you all to not be disappointed in me when I say that was the time I did have my brain blast a little bit. And my brain blast was realizing I had technically already written a game with troop style play. And once I realized that I had already written a game with troop style play, I was somewhat flummoxed by myself. What do I actually mean by this? Effectively, in this game, in Deep Blue Girls, Deep Blue Girls is a game about boat girls, obviously. But boat girls, in this game, you can have each admiral, each person, can have multiple of them, with the expectation that you're going to have a stable of characters that you can draw from. We're going to be employing the same premise, effectively. It's not going to be necessarily troop-style play, we're going to be kind of doing stable stable character stables. Like, character stable TRPG, it's a... the kind of the stable of characters. Like, it's a very particular idea, and it's hard to find information about it because it's usually only applied as things like OSR funnels. But here, we're going to be using the same idea. Also, Shock. Shock was not good. Your first commission, no less, right? No, first commission was a very different game entirely. That was a very weird game. We do not talk about the first commission. That wasn't even a commission. I just wrote that literally on the behest of TG, actually. It was very funny. But instead of going full troop play, we're going to have the idea of troop play, but we're going to have a stable of gladiators. That stable of gladiators is going to be broken down mostly into... Because in Ars Magica, there are effectively 3 types of characters. There's a Grog, there's a Companion, there's a Magus. The Grog is like, dude. Like, these are not like competent people. These are like just disposable cannon fodder. Companions are someone that is way better than everyone else, and you're direct... In your name, you can do things. If you bring out a companion, it is in my name. This person is acting on my behalf, kind of thing. The Magus is you, obviously, but you are extremely powerful. Obviously, that's not going to be really the whole thing we need. What I'm thinking about doing is having the idea of like you're leveling up. As the gladiator effectively gets better and better over time, they are getting more famous effectively. They're getting new titles, they're getting new things to kind of level themselves up. but you're also learning more about them. Every level you're getting something more out of them. Better stats, better, gear, better stats, better skills, better everything. With the intention of saying, oh, hey, well, you're going to become a champion. We're going to do, you are becoming so powerful and so rich. We're doing great. One of the ideas, though, that I want to have happen, like, gradually, is that there's going to reach a point where it's like, they can retire. Now, the retirement plan is effectively in two categories. Now, the idea of the retirement plan is either you retire them. Actually, I should say Ludus retirement. You are saying, hey, this gladiator is rank 7. I don't want to lose him. I'm going to cash him out effectively. I'm saying, hey, congratulations. You're free to go. I'm paying off, you are a free man. You can do whatever you want. You get some benefit out of him, like the last bit of benefit out of him, but he's fine. He's good. The other one is a personal retirement. Because all of these guys are fighting for a reason. And that's going to kind of go into the idea of, like, who they are. Slaves are fighting to literally just get paid to buy their freedom. That's all they're doing. The second they get enough money, they are leaving. They're like, okay, goodbye, I'm going to buy my freedom. Freemen might literally say, I'm panicking, I don't want to die anymore, and just leave you. They're freemen, you can't stop them from quitting a job. It's kind of the idea of, like, they're the ones kind of... You can lose a character being like, I'm already rich and famous. I don't really care anymore. I'm leaving. Fuck you. I'm good. You're like, what? No, you can't do that. Was that the Monster Girl game? No, the very first commission. I can talk to people about the first commission. The very first commission. Oh, God, where is she? Where is she? It's been a very, very long time. It has been an exceedingly long time since I've, Oh, here we go. This is actually the very first commission I ever got. And it fucking shows, by the way. This is not very good. I was paid about $30 for this. Very specific game, very particular, not very good, mind you. It was very early. This is when I asked for like 50-50 because I thought that was very fair. And I got paid $30. I sent him the draft copy. And he proceeded to completely ghost me and leave me for dead. So, I never got the final half. Yeah, I never actually got the back payment of that. So I said, fuck it. It's been a, yeah. Yeah, I was like, yeah. No, Monster Girl Adventures, all me, baby. All me. So, they can, let's see, gradually increasing rank, stable gladiator, they can retire. The idea of kind of like the personal retirement is the encouragement of you, the player, to kind of take care of these guys a little bit more. Because they're going to have personal loyalty. That's going to be kind of the idea. Like, they have loyalty. They're loyal to you. Hey, you treat these guys really good. You treat these guys amazing. They're going to fight for you no matter what. Even if they've earned their freedom, they've bought their way out of debt or something like that. They're like, I don't, like, hey, I'm going to keep fighting for you because I still want to make some money. I trust you with this. And getting people in there, letting people go increases loyalty. Hey, hey, we've let some people go. We're doing good. $20 bratty toaster. Let me summon the $20 bratty fucking toaster. There is the bratty toaster. No. Bratty toaster Diaz. Oh god. Okay, let's see. Manly co-host. Let me bring up. There we go. Let me bring up Manly. Oh, this is alone at Manly too, which is even funnier. Notepad raid. Uh-oh. People are raiding me. No, you can't do this. I'm focusing on things. Oh no. Hello. Hello everyone. My name is Notepad Anon. Hope you're having a wonderful time. I don't see raids sometimes because I'm blind and don't hear things, and I get hyper focused. I lock in. I see things. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And sometimes my brain stops. It's actually quite encouraging sometimes when my brain simply ceases. We're talking about hot, sweaty, naked men, otherwise known as gladiators, because I can do that. It's great. Welcome to my gotchi moochie lifestyle. Which, by the way, we're going to have to do some research on Gladiator. We need a raid alert button, caps lock. I should get a raid alert, and I do have one. Sometimes it just doesn't play though. I'm like, why? Yeah, again, like, I mean, we're gonna have to consult the greatest, we're going to have to eventually, consult the greatest gladiator movie of all time. I mean, that's a penis though. That's a lot of ass and penis though. We're gonna quickly look at that. Quickly get rid of that, everybody. But of course, I mean, come on, it's a Billy Harrington movie. Of course, we're going to watch it. I mean, come on. Why do you think we're here, everybody? Banned. See, God damn it. I play things risky. If I go offline now, Jeff Bezos is watching personally. Damn it, Jeff. But let's get back to the meat and potatoes of things. So, we have the basic idea of what a gladiator. We know we want a stable of gladiators, and we want a constant rotation. That's, I think, one of the big things. We want a rotation of gladiators through the game, kind of. It's like, okay, that's where kind of the main draw of the game comes in, where it's, hey, as the Ludus, you're always looking for new talent, and then because your guys are not going to last forever. You stick with one guy forever, he's your star pupil, he's going to be amazing, and he fucks off because someone poaches him, or he gets heavily maimed, or he just says, I'm fabulously wealthy already, I'm leaving. Bye. Lol Lamau. And you're there kind of high and dry with a bunch of losers. That's kind of one of the entertaining aspects. Now, this is where we get to the idea of the Ludus. In Ars Magica, meaty combat system. Random mental illness table like Darkest Dungeon. We would effectively need a table like to at least give the initial gladiator something that people can look at being like, okay, you know what you're doing. Because what I want to have happen is I want people to approach. You choose, or do you get forced to drive your Oshi can you choose, or do you get forced to drive your Oshi to death? It's at any point you can retire them. At any point you can choose, hey, you've done good, man. I'm gonna retire you. I'm not sending you out there. You're free to go. You can do whatever you want. I don't want to see you die. Not under my direction. And they effectively, you retire them, they're gone. Everyone gets some bonuses. You kind of cash out. You're cashing them out effectively. That would be the idea of you retiring them. But sometimes you shouldn't care. So this kind of brings me to the idea of the Ludus. In Ars Magica, this would be the Magus. But I want the idea that as the player, you have a you have a personalized stake in things because you are there. You are in the world itself, not you, the player, obviously, but your character. You're there and you're thinking like your character. And that's how you should approach things. And one of the ideas I was going to have is, like, there are multiple types of school. You know, or types of schools or groups, or I don't know how I want to word it. But the idea, the ones that I had, like, immediately in my head, like, these are just the ideas I thought of while drinking a very good coffee from the most enthusiastic barista in the world, because he is funnier than fuck and I love him. He is my favorite. This man is great. He has zero emotion. He is a real kudere, as we would refer to him as in anime speak. So, the first one is a dominus domina, which is to say, you are an aristocrat hiring these guys out. This is you start with a shit ton of money. You have a lot of expectation though. That's kind of the idea there. As a dominus or a domina, you start with a huge amount of money, but very little anything else. You don't really have anything special going for you. You don't have anything, unique. That's kind of like what we can kind of call the generic. Like, if we want to be, like, really basic about it, this is your generic start. Then we have the slave driver. Yes, I'm just going to call him the slave driver. The slave driver's entire thing in life is that he can only recruit slaves. Only recruit slaves. That is the only thing he gets, but discounts. Discounts. And a large stable. You can get as many of these guys as you want. They're dirt cheap. They're easy to get. You are throwing people at it. If one of these guys buys their way to freedom, that's great. But they're never going to leave unless you give them the approval or they buy their way out. And that's the secret. You don't gotta treat them well. They're your legal property. That's kind of the... Like they are your legal property. Then we have, it was the free company, which is only recruit freemen, but loyal. It's kind of the idea, as the free company, you can only recruit people who are by themselves free, but those guys want to join you. They are here to make fucking money, baby. They are here to make bank. And because they are here to make bank, that's what they're doing. Doesn't mean they're really good at this yet, but that's why we train them. That's why we make them better. And as we train them, as they get better, you're making bank, they're making bank. Life's great. That's kind of the idea. You get exceedingly loyal people who are very willing to do things for you. The other one was I can see it in my head. It was So effectively, hey, you are a retired, your character is a retired gladiator themselves. They quit the life, they broke out, they became a champion, whatever. These guys, kind of the experienced guys, come to you trying to make some money. People are trying to giving you things. The entire idea is that you start with stronger guys by default, but you have a much smaller cast. Your basic one might have 6 or 7 people that they can freely use. The free company might have 6, 7. The slave driver has like 15. But these guys are disposable. You don't give a shit about them. You say, okay, go in there and, any amount of money you make pays you off. I don't care. These guys, you get 3. Those are your 3. You can't get any. You're getting more is very expensive for you, and it's kind of difficult for you, but these guys are really good and know what they do. And then we have a cult. And then we have a cultist, which is very like kind of like middle of the road, team. Like they're not full on yet, but it's like, okay, who are you in this world? Who is your character? Hey, I'm a Dominus. My family owns a bunch of things. I'm very wealthy. I'm very powerful. I'm recruiting all these gladiators because I want to make it there. The person I'm working with runs a free company. Another player across from me runs a free company. We're working together. We have that deal going on. Why are we working together? Because we both want to make money. I need his people. He needs my money. We're on this together. We're working together. It's a great time. We do team matches. It's a wonderful experience. We're working also with a retired gladiator because he has got really good guys. He's making sure that our shitheads keep surviving. That's kind of the idea. Player choice. Player options. 101 battles, I think it was. So I'm here to buy gold in the price of blood. Effectively, honest to God, goes hard as fuck. And yeah, that is effectively what it would be like to play that kind of guy. It's kind of we can kind of try to find more of these or kind of like flesh this out. But what I was thinking about doing is for the gladiator themselves, like during gladiator recruitment. Hello. Like during gladiator recruitment, is that you're going to have, again, this is very early. You have 3 tiers. You're going to have a slave, which is, picking, kind of worse stats, but point and buy. Why? Because you are purposefully finding the guy you want. You are going through this and you are saying, you are the guy I want. Doesn't matter if you automatically free him. He's not going to be great, but you get to choose what he is. Freemen are, freemen. Completely, middle of the road, all random. They roll their stats entirely. You have no idea what you're getting with a freeman. But he could be really good. He could be really shit. You could look at him and be like, I'm not gonna hire you. Go away. I'm not hiring you. You are made of noodles and you suck. Why are you in this profession? On another hand, you could be like, you are a literal Adonis. I will pay you way more than you're worth. Because you are literally perfect. You can moneyball this shit. The retired gladiator teaches my slaves how to stop fucking dying. Yeah, it would be kind of the idea. And as you're playing these individual characters, one of the ideas what I want to have happen is like as a character goes through the ranks, gets better, improves their abilities, improves how they operate. The player should be writing in almost factoids about them. And every factoid about the character you're learning. And that's just something you're fleshing out some because you've played this guy a few times. He's survived a few fights. Now you're learning who this guy is over time. And he's getting bonuses to do things because this is who this guy is. And later on, if you've got a slave who is dog shit, but manages to fight his way up to the top and does amazing, and he's awesome, he's doing great, trade him. What, you're gonna willingly buy this guy I paid 100 gold for 100 or for like 1,500? Yeah, okay, take him. I don't care. Yeah, he's all fucking yours. And that should be like something that a player should be thinking about. It's like, okay, I kind of got the most out of this guy. Do I want to trade him to another school? Do I want to swap around guys to be like, okay, I want this guy because he's good, and this guy is not as good, so I'll trade you him for him, throw in some money. Am I literally, was this influenced by Moneyball? Yes. Not gonna lie. Not even gonna lie. the idea of the final one was either going to be like a soldier or a soldier, a gladiator, which is very very reliable stream, pretty much great stats, many issues. It's kind of the idea of like you're inheriting things. Actually, if if we go to like the backgrounds here, like in we who are about to die is a good one. Again, slave or former soldier, you're just a criminal. This is your job. Hey, you're just a civilian, or you are a politician. Like like there are people that you are. How do I want to word this? Like, you should be wanting to recruit people from different backgrounds. This is kind of like how your character creation method almost. Like, slaves are cheap, but you can point by them. Freemen are middle of the road, but they're all random. Soldiers, gladiators, and things like that, they're very expensive, but they're also pretty good. You gotta get the best of both worlds. You get a little bit of random, and you also get a little bit of, point by. That's why I was thinking of, I guess we could add in like, that's why I was thinking like, this is literally in a weird way, this would be character creation. If we want to be, or like gladiator creation at least, would be this system here. How do we choose to make your character? Go up here. Are we making it, you're cheap, you're expendable, I'm throwing you away because I do not care? You're a little bit more random, you're a little, you got a lot of issues, or hey, even down to things like, hey, we just want to recruit like criminals. Like, we're trying just to recruit, we are literally going into the dungeon and buying contracts because we want to, we are thinking that they can make money or something like that. That's kind of the idea there. Like, there's options that we can do up here, and I think that's going to be the hard part. But if we go to actual, like, system design, this is where things start getting interesting. So, generally speaking, because we're dealing with so many characters, character creation has to be, is simple. Relatively speaking. We're not making a megaversal character. Making a character that is very forward, forward thinking, forward and easy. When you get a hero like Spartacus, something like that should feel like random almost. Like, you're going through the slave pens and you're like, okay, I'm gonna take that guy, and then like you get like almost it's like randomized later on. Being like, yeah, no, this guy's fucking cracked. You're like, how? Why? Why are you good at your job all of a sudden? Why are you making me billions? Oh. And even that would be kind of the idea of like, hey, you've got a guy who's amazing. Do you want to give him up all of a sudden? Hey, he's made enough money to almost buy his freedom. A gladiator PC to the troop mode. I don't like that stuff like that. Like, the idea of the retired gladiator is like, you've done your part. Like, you're done, or like you're out. Oh, Ludus won? Yes, Ludus won at 15. 1 point. Borzoi, it would have been a tie, and then I would have to ask my tiebreaker. But yeah, like, there's ideas there. I don't quite know how I want to do. But system design, character creation needs to be very simple, which also leads to just basic resolution. punchy. What do I mean by punchy? We can't really... When someone is stabbing me with a sword, it should be like, okay, I need to get this. But the big thing is that combat needs to be... Combat is probably going to be the most important aspect of this game. Wow, the Gladiator game combat's important. Okay. Wowzers. I would have never seen this coming in a million years. But it is important because this is going to influence a lot of things. I don't know if gladiators should even have stats outside of combat. That's a unique question. That's a unique premise. To a degree. Swords and sandals. Battle Brothers is not actually. Builder? Oh. Yes, we do. I mean, let's do Battle Brother. I mean, if we look at this, if we look at this, at the end of the day, each Battle Brother, like a Battle Brother, has life, melee, ranged, melee defense, ranged defense, fatigue, initiative. Okay. The background for out of combat. Everything else is you could start with 0. Don't need to worry about those rules. Okay, so I mean, if we're thinking about this, let's really think about this. Battle Brothers, 10 stats. I mean, if we put in something like this is gonna say a little bit silly, but showmanship, effectively. Okay. Let's think about it like this. We need stats. Now, there's a couple things we can do. We can either do like a stat plus skill system, or just pure skill, or like a skill tribute. Or skill tributes. What I mean by stat plus skill is like you have brawn, dexterity, like willpower. Those are the only things you have. Everything that is not covered by being strong or being fast is willpower. But then you have like swords, axes. You know, if we go to we who are about to die, stats. Where's the fucking there we go. Wiki. Ooh. A character traits. Management. Because like you get like the training regime and stuff. Like you get second. I don't know, man. Like that's one of those things. Like, do we go with like a class system maybe? Like if we go with like a gladiator class system. Oh god, ow. Like, let me see. I am doing this for science, everybody. We're doing this for science. I'm gonna break. I know it. Oh. Yes, hello, Jordy. That's great. Ooh. That. I'm going to this, not do. So, this is we who are about to die. This is a very fun game. Now, I'm going to just continue with this character. I just want to show you all what I mean by this. So, here's this. Oh, wow, utility menu. If I go to character, like, these are all of the different ranks. But you see, like, here are all of the stats here, kind of thing. You see, like, oh, one-handed sword, axes, maces, swords, and things like that. Just as much as, okay, dashing, throwing, stamina, movement. We could do something like that. Not a bad idea, to be honest. Yeah, no, it's... They even had the woman class. Damn, the woman class. Let's see, types. Let's see. Let's. Yeah, it's like mostly it comes down to like, how do I want to word it? Do we want to break it down? Like the idea of the stat skill system would be like one hand sword, one hand axe, one hand blunt, two hand sword, two hand axe, two hand blunt, and you know, so on and so forth. It's kind of that idea where it's like, okay, I have a sword. I want to use my one-handed sword. I'm going to be using dexterity to hit, and bronze is my damage. Or, you know, we're going to be kind of building our character this way. Alternatively, we go full skill tribute, and we don't even worry about that. We use something like this instead. Where, I don't think we necessarily, but we would be using these kinds of abilities. Like, Gladiator. Yeah, like there's... Okay. Not because it was cruel, but because law women's sports. And even today, we love the WNBA. No, with all the tighter system. Yosemite, I am hunting for that game. I will find it. I would say Strange Tales of Songling was there. Strange Tales of Songling was getting there. Remember, they scale onto enemies' muscles. When enemies X fuck up armor, blood causes more eternal, source kill better. Yeah, like that's what it was like. Unless we do, okay. So we're gonna write this out. We're gonna write this out a little bit. Yeah, Strange Tales was getting there. That's why I didn't even told fucking Brendan this, by the way. Brendan, if you ever watch this video, I love you, man. But Strange Tales was getting to the. I have this idealized game out of Bedrock, which is lowering the jank of Wandering Heroes, but having in all the fun options. I want that. It's there. I can see it. Brendan has to write it, and I believe in Brendan. One day it'll come out, and one day I'll be happy. One day. Like, if we keep this really simple, like, I guess we could do something like, if we want to do full skill tribute system, I guess we could do something like melee ranged. If we do something like melee defense, I mean, I guess if we do melee ranged, melee defense, range defense, resolve, showmanship, and then fatigue, health. Once we just... You know what health system we could steal? No. This is a weird thing to say, yeah, let's steal a bit from fucking Eclipse Phase. But bear with me. In Eclipse Phase 2nd Edition, anytime you take damage, you are normally just reducing your health. Lowering your health. Except if you hit over a certain amount of damage. Once you hit over a certain amount, you take an injury. This is bad. This is like a serious wound that's fucking your day up. And we could do something like that. Like, you have the idea of getting little scrapes just gradually wearing you down, or you can go for the, hey, this guy just ran your dude in through with a fucking sword. There are guts on it, and you're like, oh shit, uh-oh. And you're kind of pulling back a little bit. You're like, ooh, that's bad. Oh, your guts are in places they shouldn't be. Oops. That's kind of the idea there. It's like your little... When you're in that battle, you make that check, and you're like, okay, you, the player, are thinking, as your gladiator for that, I need to defend myself. I pull back. I need to go on the offense. I need to do something. With the idea being that, can I risk getting hit really badly? Can I risk doing this? Alternatively, this is a very silly idea. We go with the Dark Bad system. Yes, I am completely and unironically citing Dark Bad. Yeah, exactly. Like, you want combat to be faster, martial artism, Wandering Heroes. I want it to be martial autism, Yosemite. I'm not lying. I want to have all the bullshit techniques, because that's like half the fun of wuxia, like wuxia And like one of the things I don't much care for about Righteous Blood is that it's very easy for people to, how do I want to word? It's very easy for people to start taking the same things, and that like ruins the fun of it, kind of thing. Because one of them, like the fantasy of wuxia for me is looking at another guy being like, aha, I've mastered ancient ding dong style. Ow. Bit my lip there. I've mastered ancient ding-dong style. Oh, but don't worry, my silver serpent Tang Dynasty style can defeat yours. And then they start beating the shit out of each other as you're trying to, like, learn their style just as much as yours. And I think that's entertaining. It's just like, hey, this guy's got a... Yeah. Okay, battle, yeah. Yeah, you're looking at the Battle Brothers system. Like, that's honestly what I was looking at. Ah, good old-fashioned fucking brain damage. The best attribute to get. Like, my idea when it comes to the Dark Bad system is you are extremely exposed if you do not have armor on. I make a swing, I hit you, I am trying to break your armor, I'm trying to kind of hit places that are exposed, but the less armor you're wearing, the more popular you are. Like, yeah, people will like the guy not wearing a lot of armor and it's slowing you down, hence why we can put something in like a fatigue system. Unlike, yeah, I guess we could do like... Ooh. Mm. 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 Okay, maybe I gotta look at this. Okay. Mm. So, let me grab up. Spartan does come up with damn good words. My first level weapons have keywords on tags. Scale. Mm. Here. Battle Brothers. Battle Brothers uses a D100 system, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's a D100. A chance equals skill minus defense. Skill multiplier. Yeah, it's a D100 check. We could go with the D20. We go with the D20. That is... Yeah, I get that one. It would be more of the idea behind you are making a D20 check with the intent of... I'm making it, yeah, so single die roll for a lot of things, so it's less having to worry about piles of dice, and it's more about rolling one and then rolling damage. Unless we just have set damage. Set damage isn't. No, maybe. Set damage sounds like a good idea. I don't think it's gonna work. I guess... I don't know. Unless we do... Okay. Set damage, but any amount over target number is a bonus to damage. That could work. 2 hit, armor reduces damage. Combat would go fast. Combat would go faster. That's, I think, the... it would be pretty punchy. I don't think it would be increasing the target number. I think we can do... One thing we can do... I want you all to imagine this. Put yourself in the gladiator fantasy a little. A guy is coming at you with a sword. He is almost entirely naked. This man, though, is fucking fast. He is taking a swing at you. Do you want to be faster than him, or be able to take a sword to like a shoulder piece or something? Because what we could do is have the idea of having more armor makes you less appealing, but also slower. You don't have that fatigue. And fatigue is your ablative health. Fatigue is getting chewed away, but actually no, fatigue wouldn't be ablative. Yeah, actually, I guess we could use the idea that, like, fatigue can be spent to dodge. You get a set amount of fatigue back every round, but you're using fatigue to try to dodge out of the way a little bit. I was doing something so much. Yet everything is based off of stamina. Unless we use the idea that fatigue is effectively our action points. If we go with the idea that fatigue are action points, it would be... anytime you take damage, you would also be effectively lowering your own fatigue. So it's kind of that thing where you want to save some fatigue in case you get hurt, but you also want to use it so you stop dying. And you as a player or you as the enemy can start thinking about things in a different way then. Because I want you all to think about this. Biff McStronghuge is in the heaviest armor you've ever seen. He is a walking fucking tank in the arena. You know he doesn't have a lot of fatigue. You know he's fucking struggling underneath that thing. You can't fucking hit the guy though. Any of your attacks right now aren't gonna do jack shit. What do? You wear him out. You're just making these little attacks. He's gotta fucking dodge it or you're gonna hit him regardless. You're fucking up his armor, or he's trying to wasting his limited resources. Beginning as you do stuff. Yeah, but how would we do that? What do we do that? Like... I want you to know it's here. It's here. Unless we make the fatigue stat, like, your maximum. Like, if you have 10 fatigue, you can go up to 10 fatigue, and after that, you're fucked, kind of thing. Like, you're just dead tired and not doing it. An endurance stat could help. Accumulating too much fatigue. It's like as it goes up. Need to make this punchy. Yeah, that comes a unique issue. So if we go with the idea that like fatigue builds, there needs to be few, if any ways to reduce. Like, and at one, it's like, yeah, if the longer a fight goes on, the worse you are going to do. And that's kind of the idea, is like, as the fight wears on, you're building fatigue that it's much more difficult for you to get rid of unless you are effectively wasting your turn to do, like, I am wasting my action to sit here and recover. But that's exposing me. That's me saying I don't want to do anything anymore, and then I get stabbed in the face. But if we do fatigue is spent, but I guess that's a question of what feels better then. Does it feel better to spend something? Or does it feel better... Does it feel better to spend something to get something and then have it slowly return? Or have something build up trying to reduce it back down? So, let's say we have let's say we have like effectively a fatigue of like a completely naked gladiator has 20. It's 20 out of 20. Actually has like 20 plus, like, I don't know, strength something. But I guess we can have like, I guess if we throw in an endurance, we do something like that. Like, we have 20 plus endurance. So you might have 25, 26, something like that. Then at that, so you have 20, let's say you have 25 endurance. That's you completely naked, though. You start putting on armor. Let's say we have a full set of metal armor. We might have like 2 plus endurance as our maximum. Because I am completely encased in metal. And a guy stabs me with a spear and it's gonna go clink off because it's a fucking spear against my full metal armor. That's not how that works. On the other hand, that doesn't really mean much. But I guess that means what we can do when it comes to when you start showing up with a blunt weapon. I guess that gives the blunt weapon something to actually go for. Blunt weapons don't do a lot of damage, but all damage goes through armor. It's like, yeah, congratulations, you're wearing super heavy armor. Fuck you, I have a hammer. Like, I'm going to hit you over the head with this. Have fun. Yeah, my sword doesn't do jack shit, but okay. Unless we do so, we can do something like this, like. Okay. I don't think there's going to be many actions in combat necessarily. So I think just reducing the number should keep it a little bit easier. That's something we might have to just, as we're going through, just realize. But I'm not hating this idea. I guess the question would be, like, once you hit, like, full fatigue... No, I don't think that's the right idea. My thing there, what I want to have to happen is that you have like a card almost. Like you have a note card. I don't have my note cards with me right now. Somewhere on my desk. You have a note card with your gladiator on it. And you know you have 8 fatigue. you know attacks take 2 fatigue. That's something's like, okay, shit. That's something I now have to consider. I think that should work. Rather than adding up in the middle of combat, you are doing some adding. You're mentally preparing for that a little bit more. I think that would work in a different game. I think that's the thing. I think that would work. If it was a different game, I think that would work. To give you an idea, if we were doing group mode for this, if it was just everyone is playing a gladiator, I think that would work better. But I think the system we're using here should work for what we're doing. Okay, so full fatigue. Once you hit full fatigue, it's kind of that idea of like you're kind of struck. Like it's you need to take a second and breathe. You're fucking tired. You're breathing heavy. You are like, okay, your attacks are slower. You're not dodging. You're not burning fatigue to try to dodge out of the way. But if you're wearing heavy armor, do you want to dodge? No, you want to kind of get into the fight. You're willing to do that a bit more. Okay. But now the question is, how quickly do we... Now, we could either do 2 things. Option A, and I'll ask the crowd here. Option A, recover a small amount of fatigue. Recover a small amount of fatigue per turn, but it costs to string actions together. I do 1 action, but I do 1 action, it costs X amount. If I want to do another action, it costs +1. Then it costs +3, then it costs +4, that kind of thing. Or we go with option B. Option B, build until you pull out. Pull out, then reset. So it's kind of the idea of like, okay, I'm big, biff, mix, strong, huge. I'm like, okay, for this round of combat, I'm swinging my sword around. I'm trying to hit you. I'm trying to dodge out of the way. We're doing a bunch of things. I say I can't do it anymore. I'm full on. He still's got 10 fatigue. He's still going to be laying in on me. End of round, we both reset the max. Option A. You have a slider for each stat. Your equipment gives you X bonus saves on that. Maybe your melee slider is attack and defend, so you get armor on either side. Okay. You know what? We'll go. I guess you can also pull up. I guess you can kind of do also the swords and sandals. Because in Swords and Sandals, you always have the option of resting. If you rest, you recover some of your stamina, which is very useful. You recover a little bit of health and some stamina. You can keep doing things. I forgot Swords and Sandals 3 looked fucking weird. I was more of a Crusader man myself, personally, but... That's actually not a bad way. That's not a bad way of thinking about it. Really. I get some more. Ooh, think you is that big. What would you do? Unless you literally make it a There we go. We can make combat a little bit more interesting, but keeping it also pretty fast. If we do... What we would need to do is we would need to find multiple ways of where gladiators would come from. I think ultimately all a gladiator is, if we were to make a gladiator, all they would be is their origin, their type, and maybe like a feature or something. I don't know how you would word it. I mean, if we want to be very Roman about it, we could also do ethnicity effectively. Immediately for something like that, shields would either shields are either a kind of like a flat bonus to that. That would be the idea of like, oh, you have a shield, that is a flat bonus to defending yourself. On the other hand, That is a shield you have in your one hand and a sword. That means you can't have a two-handed sword. That means you can't have a two-handed axe, a spear, or you can... That's kind of the idea of, like, having a shield is... that we can even do the idea that shield, like... Effectively, are you a fucking loser with a shield? Yeah, like nobody, no one's gonna let. That's less popular. They want you going out. They want the trident and a net. What about the Manica? How would you block with your arm? Kind of like things like that would be like almost specialized equipment that you'd have to buy for your gladiators. Be like, hey, your job is to block with your arm. Yeah, things like the trident and a net. Like, yeah, I've got no fucking armor. I have no chest armor on. I've got a egregiously stupid looking hat. I'm wearing a fucking battle kill. I've got a trident in one hand. I've got a fucking net. Let's go. Like, yeah, you're a badass. The more you look like, the more practical you are, the less popular you are. Oh, wow. The guy in full armor, a sword and a shield, killed the guy with no pants on. Wow. Who could have seen this coming? Boo. Everyone's sad. Everyone gets mad at you kind of thing. Everyone, like, you're fucking lame. You're like, you're not doing cool. You walk up with two swords in your hand, wearing a bear hat or something, with a fucking loincloth on. People are gonna be like, this dude's a fucking badass. This dude knows what he's doing. This guy is good. Mind you, your character could be shitting his pants, being like, I'm gonna die in one hit. I don't want to die. Oh fuck. Oh no. Like you could be doing something like that. Like you're panicking a little bit because you're a glass cannon. Dude, this is pro wrestling with weapon. Welcome to gladiators, effectively. Like you have like we have like the popular idea of what a gladiator is, you know, but like gladiators were literally, it was WWE half the time with weapons under your clothes. What clothes? Come on, Spartan. Be a real man. Take that shirt off. We've got two shoulder pads in my fucking chainmail ass bikini. And that I think should have, I think that had, like, what about horses? Man, I don't fucking know yet. Like, doing something like that, the other events would need to be something we gotta, like, sit back and think about, almost. Is like, these are other events that can take place, and do you dedicate people to? Like, hey, this, like, we have to do a battle recreation. Okay. Yeah, like, chariot race, like, I don't even know how I want to do the map, to be honest. Fuck, man. Like, there's a couple ways to do a map, and I don't know it. Like, we could go full, like, grid. Will be fairly serious feature bloat. Notepad, you can have zombies, yeah, effectively. Like, the idea behind the other events would be, they would be feature bloat, but they would be additional features. I think having, like, animal fights, or in general monster fights now, because that would be a thing. Hey, go fight a giant rhino. What do you mean a giant rhino? Oh, you know, it's this comically oversized rhino we brought in. I don't want to fight it. Everyone laughs as you send your shitty guys in there to die horribly. Oh, hey, this, like, hey, we're in a, yeah, go fight a dire wolf. Go fight a fucking zombie. Yeah, go, This is literally like, oh, hey, yo, like, you've got to cut their heads off. That's something you got to spend time doing. Can't like Greek mythic creatures. Yeah, you could do things like that even. Like, we already have Chaos Gods and Thetos, and Chaos Monsters. So you can literally just have, hey, here are literal, like, Chaos Beasts. That... Imagine in an arena, you just have a fucking Chaos Spawn show up. Like... Imagine one of these fucking things showing up in the arena being like, and our brave gladiators will be fighting this horrible thing today. You know, like, I don't... What? You know, it's like, yo, oh yeah, sorry, you know, one of our guys just got ripped in fucking half kind of thing. Gotta have a way to keep it from jumping out. And it would be like, fight Buttermer. every game has a Buttermer in it. It would be kind of like the idea of like, I don't know how I want to do arenas. Because I would say like more exotic arenas should, like, upgrading your arena should feel interesting. That should be kind of like a fun thing. Like, and I guess we could do like a really like, I guess we could do like a really like effectively, if we want to get like an idea here of can we get like a like, instead of like a traditional like, oh, it's 5-foot grids, luckily we could literally have something like this, but it would be like, okay, the arena is like, the arena is this is all the arena space you have. You can advance pretty reliable because you're in a like yeah, you're in a fucking cage match. This is the entire size of the arena. You are trying to like dance around each other while, you know, kind of getting into the fight with each other. And or hey, we're doing a chariot race or something similar to that. Hey, as a chariot race, this is what it is. You're trying to go around the thing faster than other people. Like, we can have like a very strict one. I don't know. The question here would be, do we want it to have you can I get a better gladiator artwork? Can I get some gladiators in the house here? Give me a gladiator. Open up paint.net real fast. Let me open up paint.net real fast. Let's do whoop. Like, do we want the idea that there are, in each square, we can have like 2 gladiators fight? Like, this is like very clearly 2 gladiators are fighting in this, but any number of people can technically join. Or it's like, okay, this is a 5-foot square. I can attack you. You can attack me. That is... You can make arenas interesting in that regard. Even just saying, hey, you are in a literal pit. Like, you are in a pit. That pit is 10 feet down. You are now fighting, and you have a very select crowd looking down at you, effectively. And you're fighting a monster. You are fighting a fucking chaos spawn. And that thing just is going to rip your ass in half. You seal the analysis phase thing for... Hmm? Oh, righteous blades. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Something like that, yeah. Band map or zone. It would be effectively would be it would be like a map, like a grid map, but it's, do we want to do it like Cloudbreaker Alliance? I'm gonna bring up Cloudbreaker. Do we want Cloudbreaker or do we want a more traditional one? Do we want a little bit more? I think that's gonna be, yeah, I think that would have to be a part of it somewhere. Effectively just the circling phase. If anything, it could literally just be an action. It's an action worth 0 fatigue, but the idea is, I'm just trying to figure out what your fucking deal is. You've got stupid stats, but you're wearing no armor. Okay, that's easy enough to understand. Hey, you're holding that trident very confidently. I think you're really good at that trident. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh no. Mm. 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 All of these squares make a circle. All of these squares make a circle. What if you did a ring map? I mean, a ring of squares. I mean, if you can do it in fucking Minecraft circle. Like, if you could do it in Minecraft, in theory, you could do it in... Yeah, you would effectively be doing something like this. There we go. Here's how you make a circle in Minecraft. Not even talking about dome. Okay. I still like hex. Everyone loves hexes. I love hexes. You know, we could do just a hex. Like, that's not... Hex map. Well, I want. I guess it would be, in theory, a lot easier to, in theory, it would be a lot easier to make a circle, quote-unquote, kind of more of a arena where, like, be a little bit... I think both of them have their appeals, and that's something I'm probably going to have to just mull over. There's an answer there, and I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's like, there are answers there, but I think, honest to God, I think we're doing pretty alright here. I think the main thing we really need to work out is we need more origins. We need to kind of get the concept of the, like, the type fighter a lot better. And the ethnicity. Which, again, maybe not the best way of doing it, but, like, effectively, like, this is your this is your background. It's, again, it's not the right way of wording it, but, like, hey, you're from the city. You are from here. Hey, you are part of this cult. Hey, you're this. We technically do this already in Somata. Bring up, during Somata character creation. Like, we do something similar to this with, like, hey, You are you're a thrall of the, in the clans. Hey, you're an Olani citizen. You're a Jarrett clansman. Hey, you are a camel. You're part of the camel tribes. You're a Caledonic. You're Caladoon person. Which, funnily enough, I do get to literally cite Caladoon again. No, like, there's a square grid with smaller concentric square areas. Ring is 1 by 1 square. Ring 2 is... Like, the thing is, Caladoon's people are going to be seen as a lot better here, because Caladoon is by himself a weird god. Because always remember, Caladoon is the god of stories. Let me bring up the where is the yes. Narrate the wandering god of stories and games. Yeah, no, he is of course going to be showing up, and Caledonic people are going to be around because, legitimately speaking, that is a thing in Theros, is that the GM has his own. There was a god of travelers, yes. Went completely over my head. This was in the same setting as Samada. Yeah. You could literally just bring in a blood cultist if you want of Amrato. Hey, one of my guys is dying. You're like, hey, yeah, I can treat him for free. I just want some of his blood. Like, give me his arm, and I will make sure all your guys are healed. If you're a slave driver, life's great. Like, hey, if you're a slave driver, yeah, no, here, take him. Fuck it, heal my guys up. Like, that should be something that pops up. Blood cultist school. It's one of those things, like, I don't even want the idea of, like, yo, there's the blood cultists and, of the Yakula. No, this isn't by the Yakula. Amrato's people are here, yeah, because there's work to be done, but yeah, they don't really care. They're in the background now. They're just, hey, we need a really good doctor that's cheap. We need a cheap fucking doctor. Yeah, okay, here's a literal blood cultist. Yeah, I could treat him. My fucking, my star gladiator, my boy. Not even if he dies. It's like, yeah, no, I'm gonna take his pinky, by the way. Like, I'm taking your best guy's hand, but he's gonna survive. I will make sure of that. Like, oh, okay, I could do that. Kind of like, almost like a side. It's like, oh yeah, there's doctors. You can either go through legitimate doctors and legitimate healers, or you can go to scary back alley places that will heal your guy. And yeah, in fact, it's free organs. Like, yeah, no, it's See, what I get to do now is I get to introduce some of the other weirder elements, because there are fantasy races in Theros. That's one of the ideas. Like, there are straight up just fantasy races. Being like, yeah, do you want to have a dwarf? Like, yeah, here's a dwarf. He is a dwarf. He does dwarf things. He is also... Do we know where they came from? No, we just caught him in a raid. It should be, like, just one of those, like, seemingly random events that just pop up where it's like, oh shit, you're good. Yeah, Orgon. Or it's yeah. Hey man, I'm taking your appendix. Like, yeah, effectively. I'm taking your fucking appendix. If you need to get rid of a body, you know who to call. Again, like, always remember that. You know who to call if you want to get rid of a body. But, yeah, okay. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I think this is going to work pretty well. And working pretty well is literally all I need, right? This going to put you majestically over here for a second. So, got all that. Now, Do we want to worry about Borzoi or I guess you know what? Borzoi I'm feeling pretty decent about. It's just I think when we hit that I need to go over it a little bit more. Trundlewood. Trundlewood's the Let's think about Trundle. We're going to think about Trundlewood, and we're going to have fun thinking about Trundlewood. Like, yeah, effectively, you are in Borzoi. You were cyberpunks. Now you work for the corpse, hunting them down. With the longer-running theme of humanity as a commodity. Initially, I'm leaning toward a 2d10 dice pool, and again, this also needs to be 2d10 or a dice pool, and it's that we need a very solid beat to this game to just beat the shit out of people. Again, hyper violence is going to be the name of the game here. Everything we want out of you're a corporate kill squad, yeah. It's not even like Adam Smasher, the role-playing game. It's you are right before. It's kind of the moments before Adam Smasher becomes someone like Adam Smasher. Like, do you want to go down that route? Yeah, you can. You can go down that route, and you are never coming back. On the other hand, you're gonna be fucking rich. I'm fucking loaded. And kind of got the ideas there. I'm going to worry about Trundle right now. But what I'm going to do right this second is get something to drink. Whoa. Hello. So, were you still hard set on rodents, or were you open to shifting, say, reptiles and amphibians for the tiny animal people die violently in the mud game? I don't know. Gonna be brutally honest. Hence one of those things where I just kind of want to sit here and think about it. Because I think thinking about things like this do help. Lizards, frogs, and snakes. Because in Root, yeah, I can. Yeah. Oh yeah. In Root. Root game. They do have lizards. They have the lizard cult. And the lizard cult are kind of spooky, and you kind of see this. And I think that has its I think that has a certain appeal to it, where everyone is kind of, how do I want to word? One of the big things with the idea of in Root is that everyone is roughly the same size, and it doesn't really matter who you are. You're all about the same height. You're all about the same scale of things. And I think that has a appeal. But I also think that I wouldn't say diminishes it, but it definitely changes the nature of it. Notepad noises. Notepad noises. Oh, yeah! Kind of like Mickey Mouse, where a lot of the characters are roughly the same size. Yeah, like, Goofy is about this. Goofy's larger than Mickey, but like, Goofy is not like massive compared to him. Compared to something again like Redwall. Like in Redwall, like characters are roughly the height. Like a badger, like badgers are fucking huge in Redwall because badgers are big fucking animals compared to a little mouse. Like, otters are big animals compared to a mouse, and that makes them more intimidating. But you can see it. That doesn't even give it the kind of give it justice for how big some of these can get. You know, that has its own appeal. But then you go to something like Mouse Guard, for example, where Mouse Guard is everything is to scale effectively. Where, hey, we're in Mouse Guard and we are fighting an owl. Yeah, this is like an owl is an apocalyptic threat in Mouse Guard. That is something absolutely terrifying. And something that the characters do honestly struggle. You know, it's a heroic battle, effectively, again, you know, with the Black Axe versus the owl. And getting cut to pieces, you know, you kind of even see, like, they ride sparrows and things like that, because sparrows are roughly, you know, are bigger than mice, and that's a very different thing. Versus, it would be Redwall, Mouse Guard, God, I can see it. Versus something like Tales of Iron, which the scale is off, but not extremely so. Like, mice are smaller than rats. Yeah, it's like mice are smaller than rats, but not like massively so. Versus like the little frog men, like frogs are bigger than mice, but again, not massively so. Have you thought about playing Tales of Iron? I've thought about playing Tales of Iron a couple times, and it's like, it's on sale, it's not on sale, and it's on sale. And I know Tales of Iron 2 came out, but this was kind of the, yeah, like, they're big, but not, like, giant. You're seeing what I'm talking about, like these are snakes, like, snakes aren't gigantic, but they're not small. And that's kind of the question you can argue. That's kind of the thunking moment is when it comes to things like scale. That's why I'm thinking like, oh hey, like playing something straight out Redwall is a lot different than playing Root, than playing that and adding a lizard. Do you add little lizards? Do you not add little? The scale gets very strange. And because the scale gets strange, you end up having to think about things in a very alien way, almost. God, I love coffee. So, I think there's a right way of doing this. Because ultimately, all I want to do is have Keep on the Borderlands, the role-playing game, but everyone's a little mouse. Like, everyone's a little mouse on Keep on the Borderlands, and we're doing our best, but things are not doing great. Like, you've got the metaphorical keep. Like, the metaphorical keep is Trundlewood Fortress. It is a fortress. This is your home base. You can always go back to Trundlewood Fortress. On the other hand, Trundlewood Fortress is kind of a shithole because it is surrounded by horrible things that eat you. Yeah, it's like the idea that Trundlewood the actual fortress should feel safe at all times. This is a place that you have established as home, and you have made your stake here, but you want to go out and do adventure shit because Trundlewood Fortress is a shithole and you want to make sick amounts of money. Which is also kind of going with the time scale that if you go full on 100 Years War, for example, you can still have more of the feudal system in place, going on adventures and things like that. You're effectively in the border marches of your border march lore. Well, you aren't, but you're working for a guy, or he is. Effectively, the idea is what I have for one of the big things for Trundlewood Fortress, and in my head anyway, is the Baron is anyone stupid enough to claim power in that area. Doesn't matter who. But whoever claims power in that area now has a responsibility to worry about. This is your problem now, not mine. And in the 100 Years War scenario, it's you're a border march lord. That guy is a border march lord. He sits on the border, making sure horrible things do not happen to people who actually matter. This sucks. He's got a good set of guys, but he needs adventurers to go out and fuck up people around you. Fuck up everyone on the border. Go out there and kill the Welsh. Just butcher the Welsh, because the Welsh are all dumbasses who want to kill us all. The English Civil War side is, there's a massive civil war going on out there. This area is now being overrun with banditry, with more terrible things. You're in the edge of the world, effectively, trying to eke out a living in a place that is clearly hostile. There's too many people, not enough food to go around. You take up arms to go out and try to find something. The Anglo-Saxon one is, Trundlewood Fortress was recently built. This is a place that has been recently constructed by the Baron, and you're our guys he's hired to say, hey, explore the surrounding area for me, please. Like, figure out what it is, kill shit, steal their stuff. We're in foreign land. That would be kind of the idea of the Danelaw. Would be the Anglo-Saxon angle. That general theming. is like, yeah, hey, go out there and explore. And I think all of them have influences in different places. You could literally be like, hey, there are, you have the the mice and rat dynamic, because in Redwall, a rat is fucking evil. Rats are horrible little creatures that want nothing more than to kill everyone and eat their corpse. They are awful. Then you look at a little mouse and you're like, oh man, look at them, they're so heroic and nice and everything is fine. Effectively, we would be, you would be making out it would be the mice and the rat dynamic. It's like, yeah, Trundlewood Fortress, the Baron is a rat. Like, he is a big fucking rat. He's Clooney. He's fucking Clooney the Scourge, because Clooney's an ass and wants to kill people because he's an evil dude. But, like, the Baron's not evil, he's just clearly a foreign invader. And he knows he is. That's the big thing. He knows he's a foreign invader. He don't give a fuck. Again, like, even adding the concept of there are humans does change the dynamic of the world significantly. None of them really don't tell me that this is a person who fucking wants to fuck Clooney the Scourge. Don't do this. Stop that. Stop that right now. Like, again, anytime I see, like, images of, like, oh man, the villain's super cool and stuff, anytime I see something like that, I'm immediately reminded of the gummy bears thing. And me seeing things that I don't want to remember. It's great. Fucking Martin bringing out a goddamn sword against a goddamn, like, clown rat. God, it's... But, like, Root doesn't have humans, Redwall doesn't have humans, Mouseguard obviously doesn't have humans. None of them have humans or anything like that. You don't really should act humans. Yeah, adding humans, that's another dimension. Because that leads to things that are a little bit weird to like, you could have weird adventures there with the idea of, hey, we're going to the ancient super fortress on the edge of the barony. Oh, what is it? And it's just like a fucking house. Like, there were humans. We don't know where the fuck they are. Like, we don't know what the fuck they are. Movie 9. Yeah, again, like 9 even. Fucking the fucking 9. Fucking 9, man. Oh god. Like, 9 has, I think, a very distinct concept to it, which does influence the nature of, yeah. What isn't that? Oh god, when did 9 come out? When did 9? Tell me. Yeah. 2009. It's been September 9th, 2009. They fucking knew what they were doing. Jesus. God, I didn't even realize that was September 9th, 2009. Jesus. Toy Story. From theme, but you get Toy Story again. Yeah, again, it takes 999. Yeah, I didn't even realize that until now. I hope you all know that. Did not even occur to me that the movie 9 is from 999. Truly, we live in blessed times. The blessed dread, everybody. That's not quite what I was aiming for this game, but that's an idea for a game, like... See, that would be kind of more, I go to things Notepad Anon wants to do. That'd be more of, God, where is it? It was Dollhouse, I believe. It was, yeah, the Dollhouse. Which is based off a game, mind you. A very weird little horror visual novel thing. Stop toy. Don't Toy With Me. Yeah, Don't Toy With Me was actually a really interesting game, and I do... If you just want to see a really weird game, and just feel like watching something very simple, Don't Toy With Me is actually really interesting. It's a very funny visual novel, very interesting. If we're going that angle, not the Toy Story angle. Okay. Mm-hmm. The next video stream is a visual novel stream. I've been debating doing visual novel streams. I hope you all know this. I've been debating it. The problem is, I don't know if I would be interesting enough to do a full visual novel stream in this cadence. Katawa Shoujo stream? No, I would just be reading Katawa Shoujo and just forget I'm streaming because I fucking love Katawa. What I mean by, like, I don't know if I'm interesting enough to, like, just read it out perfectly. I think I would. I don't know if I have the wherewithal to do that. I do have a few that I would want to. How do I want to? There are a few visual novels that I've been debating on playing in the Discord. Because I find that funny, and I want to make sure that you all suffer because of it. All of you. I want to make sure all of you feel suffering. Honestly. Like, the thing is, honestly, the thing with visual novels is... No, we're still recommended novels. Like, I don't know what I mean by, like, I don't know if I'm interesting enough. Like, when I'm talking about games or if I'm, like, writing things and... Like, I'm kind of talking with you guys more than anything. That's what these are the day. This is me talking with you, you know, a little back and forth conversation going on. With a visual novel, it's like, do I have the literally me just reading things out and reacting from there? Like, can I do reaction content? I do not know. Oh god, my eye. That's what I'm kind of meaning. Is like, do I have, like, mostly, and the ones that I would want to do, I really don't think I could play on stream. Like, being perfectly honest, I do not know if I could play some of these on stream. I'm like 99% sure I can't play half of them, like most of these. But it would be funny. Snoot. Snoot game would be one. Snoot game would be one. It would also be God, it would be Snoot game, and I wanna hug the gator. See, there would be a part of me that would want to try to find a way to play Goodbye Volcano High. I would want to play Goodbye Volcano High, then play Snoot Game, then play a Wani Hug the Gator. I'm gonna say Wani Huggy the Gator. Like, just a very convoluted series of events to make sure. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. God, unironically playing Goodbye, Volcano High. I'll have you know, for the longest time, I thought Snoot Game was Goodbye Gravity, Goodbye Volcano High. I thought that was like the joke. Was, oh, Goodbye Volcano High never came out, so Snoot Game is just Goodbye Volcano High. I didn't know Goodbye Volcano High came out. I thought it was just Snoot Game. I'm not fucking with people here. I legitimately didn't thought the OG, the actual money one, I thought that wasn't real. I thought like that was the shit post. Because I've like heard nothing about it, but I heard nothing but positive things about Snoot Game. It's very fascinating. Goodbye Volcano High. That's what I've heard more frequently than I think the developers would want to hear. It's like, oh, I thought this was a money laundering scheme. I'm like, is this a money laundering scheme? Maybe. It's always that fun moment when you sit there for a second and you're like, are you a money laundering scheme? Like, Goodbye Volcano. No, Goodbye Volcano High is not on Steam. No, it is not. I refute. Oh my god, it is on Steam. I did not know that. I did not. It is $30. Why do they call it a visual novel and not a kinetic module? What? It's called a kinetic novel. I guess it's, oh, you have rhythm games. It's a oh, it's a rhythm game. Oh my god, it's Dustborn. Oh my god, it's Dustborn, everybody. There's a game we should play. Yeah, again, it's what could possibly be bad about Goodbye Volcano High outside there being one ending? There's one fucking ending. What are you gonna do? Like I always hate visual novels like that unless you want to make like a musical sequence and don't matter. Of course they don't. Why would they? Why would they? That's literally to distract ADHD kids. That's the entire point. Never fade away. Some kinetic novels are like that. I've played through one kinetic novel called Planetarium. That was a rough one, not gonna lie, but that was built. It was more like an audio-visual thing. Like, you had the music of the book you're reading. That's all it was, really. And I'm like, okay, this works. The music, the writing, I'm like, all right, this is what. Okay, this is. I enjoy. They don't pretend to be a game though. That's one thing I respect. Something just. We're not a game. We are a novel with music. I respect that. That's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's bad when you lie about it, though. Don't say you're something you're not. I think Planetarium was free, too. Or I pirated it. Who knows? I pirated a lot of visual novels back in the day. Let's see. So, back to work a little bit. Yeah, I guess let's look. Red wall. Let's see. Red wall. Slagar the Cruel. This is a fucking fox. Like, nefarious fucking risen of the Mossflower Woods. Late Summer Rose. Cleaning the script. Brother Methuselah. Chicken Hound. Hello, what's up? Fucking cornflake. Yeah, it's funny to tell you what. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, yeah, like I get that. I understand. Just call it what it is. I think 95% of like 95% of things like people really hate would be a lot better. Would be a lot better taken if you just tell it what it is, rather than trying to like hide it. Like God of War is not an action game. It's not. It's a linear story with occasional where you hit buttons. Like old God, new God of War anyway. Old God of War was an action game because it was fun. Fucking new God of War, man, sweet. I keep trying. Every now and again, I look back at some of the things in new God of War, and I'm like, this ain't it, Chief. This ain't it. Like, so this is currently the situation we're running into. Is do we want a bunch of small critters, or do we want root logic, or do we just want to go with like something completely different? There's a lot of options here, and a lot of those options are contradictory. I wouldn't say contradictory, but a lot of them are, you can have A or B, if that makes sense. More billion dollars, exactly. Now I'm going to... Welcome to a commission document. Yes, because we got a commission, everybody. I love it when I get paid money to do things I already like doing. That's the wrong thing. There we go. I love getting paid money to do things I like. So this is a commission. This is going to be called Cardboard Hustle. Now, Cardboard Hustle is simple. An anime is a card game anime TRPG with roguelike deck builder video game elements. Hey Notepad, what did I miss and how are you doing? I'm doing good. We went through how to get Ludus Maximus working. Trundlewood is still... I know what I want for Trundlewood. I don't know why Trundlewood won't work. That's the problem there. Anime edition, but also TRPG edition. I'm being paid money for something. Now, the thing with this is where again, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's ultimate formats of early Yu-Gi-Oh! Dynamic Duel and Inscription. This one's the big one, Inscription. You know, card creation, customization rules, templates, effects, along with the deck point system. Don't quite know what a deck point system is. I'll have to figure that out. You know, deck building and card design elements and resolve the combat with an actual card game. That is the weird one. Like a fair hand from Inscription, the heart of the cards. All that sort of like 5Ds, being able to physically react to an attack coming at you. Like, you know, I want players to be able to unlock effects and modifiers they can slot on a card. You know, it's like, oh, hey, you know, operate a vehicle while dueling to avoid being knocked off the road while playing. We're playing children card games on motorcycles. Yeah. Tap into Lovecraft Dreamland-esque and Dimension of Infinite Power. We have to use children's card games. Willing a support wave into the game. Yeah, it's... Now, the thing is, if we are looking at the pitch, we're going to be writing a roguelike deck builder anime card game, the TRPG. This is where things are going to get a lot more complicated. Did you ask for this? Fascinating. Rules that everyone ignores. That... Now, the problem is, you've introduced a very fascinating situation we have to do with this game. Now, the fascinating situation is that we need to make a card game. We need to make a card game. And then that card game make the TRPG of a fictional card game that we just made. This is where things get complicated. Blatro! We cannot make everything Blatro. I have the basic premise. Hey, it's possible. Because, like, one of the ideas behind of, I'll use the idea of Slay the Spire. Let me, like, if we look at something like the Ironclad, when it comes to his starting hand, he gets this. This is his starting card. He gets Strike, Defend, Bash. Easy. Something real basic. But he can get more cards to improve them. Now, one of the things that we would probably need to do, maybe the Blatro aspect isn't the worst thing in the world, which is we would be needing to take a set of generic cards and then adding effects to them. I am unironically, we're going to be citing Balatro a little bit here. Okay, you could make this one Balatro. We're drawing concepts from Balatro. We're not making Balatro. So, what I mean by this is something simple. In Balatro, you always start with the same deck, roughly speaking. You always start with a basic deck. That basic deck does things for you. You can do a lot of things with it. Now, the problem is, of how you do is, as you go through the game, you are getting new cards, or modifying your cards. Hey, I have a card, here is my Ace of Spades, Ace of Hearts. Like, I've got my Ace of Hearts. I love my Ace of Hearts. It's a lovely, lovely card, and I love him. Now, I want to make it gold. I want to make it a steel card. I want to make it glass. I want to make it better. I want to make it so it triggers twice. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. That's kind of the idea. You are taking your deck of basic cards and making them more. Now, the thing there is that we need enough basic cards to make it feel satisfying. But we also need it to work independently of itself. That's where things are going to get complicated, because we are legitimately going to be making a card game and then making a TRPG based off that card game. The way to think about it would be, we're making a Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game, but we have to build an entire role-playing game around the concept of playing Yu-Gi-Oh! That's the resolution mechanic. Fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, I've already done this once before, so now we get to do this, now we get to make it even more entertaining, because we get to do a lot more random bullshit with it. And I'm older now. I've seen things. I've done things I'm not proud of. But you know Fallen of Albaz? I do not know that person. I'm worried he's going to be a Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTuber. Who are you? I'm a YouTuber. I play Yu-Gi-Oh! But yeah, we are making a role-playing game of a card game that we have to make. It's double or nothing. Starting game like resource, cause, and effects. There's a few other cards and base frames. Fallen of Albaz. Let's look up Fallen of Albaz. Ah, yes, a fusion monster. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Special summon. You can discard one fusion summon. Fusion monster. Ah! Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Imagine super polymerization on legs with 25 fusions to cycle to. Oh, God. It's like feel the Iliad and the Odyssey together. Yeah, again, we've got to think like that. Like, we are making a card game and happen to be making a role-playing game based around a fictional card game we're making. Yeah, no, my life is going to be hell in here. You know what? That's what I do best. The worst part is, I'm not even getting paid the full amount for this one. Because it's by a commissioner, and that's, I think, the funniest part. Okay. Lamau? I think that summarizes things pretty, like, like, holy fuck, you were making 2 games. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. I feel pretty good. I think I can do it. I'm built different. I'm built different. I'm built wrong. I'm built incorrect. So, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call it here because my throat's giving out, and I still need to record audio for a thing because we're doing a video tomorrow. Tomorrow's video is going to be on Vaesen, actually, because Vaesen is an interesting game to talk about. I don't think it's going to be a very long video because my opinion on Vaesen is not very deep, but hopefully you all enjoy it. It's going to be kind of I'm getting back into the swing of things, and getting back into the swing of things is always pain. Thursday we're going to be doing RuneScape Meat and Fuck Kingdom. And yeah, that should be fun. As for tomorrow's streaming, if things go according to plan and I get done with the video early, we will I might do a stream of something. I don't know, but we might do something. We'll play that one by ear a little bit. So, thank you all. Hopefully you have a nice rest of your night, day, or whatever time it is for you. Godspeed, good luck, and have a lovely rest of the day.